Welcome to our latest explainer. I'm Gus, and I was just thinking the other day, why in the world would somebody pay twice as much for a pair of sneakers when a way cheaper pair does exactly the same job?
Hey everyone, I'm Ta. And Gus, that is literally the million-dollar question. It all comes down to how markets work and this one absolutely crucial thing every single successful business needs, a competitive edge. So today, we are stepping right into the business battle arena to figure out why some companies win big while others just fade away.
Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine you're wandering around the local mall. You're super thirsty, so you're on the hunt for a water bottle. You spot two stores right next to each other. Store A has a bottle for 20 dirhams, but Store B, they're selling a bottle that looks almost identical, but it's 45 dirhams. Now, they both do the exact same thing. They hold water. So which one are you going to choose? And more importantly, why?
Well, a lot of people naturally assume that we'll all just automatically grab the cheapest option, right? The 20 dirham bottle. But honestly, that's just not true. Every single day, we gladly hand over more of our hard-earned cash for things because we feel like the more expensive product gives us greater perceived value. Maybe it's a slicker design, a cooler brand name, or maybe it's made from eco-friendly materials. Paying a premium for that perceived value, that is where the real battle of market competition kicks off.
To make sense of all this competition, we've basically got a tournament bracket today with 4 key levels to conquer. We'll look at the arena, the score, the superpowers, and finally, the bosses.
All right, let's jump straight into level 1, the arena, or as we usually call them, markets.
Simply put, a market is just any place where buyers and sellers interact to exchange goods and services. Now, historically, this meant actual physical places. You'd literally walk down to the town square, look a merchant in the eye, and trade your physical coins for physical stuff, like clothes or fresh vegetables. That was the classic arena.
But Tote, does a market actually have to be a physical building anymore? Because I buy almost everything for my couch these days.
Definitely not, Gus. Today, markets are quite literally everywhere. Sure, we still have physical grocery stores and massive shopping malls, but we've also got online stores and food delivery apps. Whenever you're tapping a button on your phone to order a late-night meal or a new pair of shoes, you're actively stepping into a digital market. The arena has just completely expanded.
Which brings us to level 2, the score, otherwise known as market share.
Okay, so now we know where the game is played. But how do businesses actually keep score when they're all fighting for the exact same customers? It all comes down to the fact that our money is limited, right? So competition happens when businesses offer similar products and try to win market share. They are absolutely desperate to grab the largest possible slice of the sales pie. Because think about it, if you're spending your money on their product, you're definitely not spending it on their rival's product.
To market share is quite literally the score of the game. It's just the percentage of total sales that a business controls within a specific market. So picture this. 10 students are all going out to buy new smartphones. If 6 out of those 10 students pick one specific brand, that single company now officially holds a 60% market share. That leaves just 40% for every other brand to scramble and fight over. If you're controlling 60% of the market, you are definitely winning the game.
Now for my favorite part, level 3, the superpowers, also known as competitive advantage.
Okay, but how on earth do companies actually rack up a score like that? Like, how do you convince 6 out of 10 people to ignore everybody else and pick your product? Well, Gus, here is the golden rule. It's all about competitive advantage. Basically, a competitive advantage is something that allows a business to perform way better than its competitors, giving it a very distinct edge. You can think of it exactly like a business superpower. If a company is equipped with a strong competitive advantage, they're going to effortlessly attract more customers, pull in way more revenue, and grow so much faster than the rivals who just don't have that edge.
There are 4 major competitive advantages, or superpowers, that businesses rely on to crush the competition. First up, cost. If you can produce goods at a lower cost, you can offer lower prices to your customers. Second is quality. Offering superior, premium products means better performance and durability. Third, we have service. Providing totally exceptional, going above and beyond support builds intense, lifelong customer loyalty. And finally, innovation. Dreaming up brand new ideas before anybody else even thinks of them, that leads straight to total market leadership. Oh, I see. So the absolute undisputed champions of the arena don't just pick one of these, they probably combine a bunch of them to become practically unstoppable.
Exactly right. Which leads us perfectly into our final level, the bosses, where we look at real-world strategies.
Let's take a look at the winning stats for some actual market champions. Apple, for instance, heavily leverages a massive quality and innovation advantage. They've built an incredibly strong brand image, released super innovative products, and have deeply loyal customers. Then you have Amazon, right? They absolutely dominate through service and cost, offering insanely fast delivery, a mind-blowing product selection, and just unmatched convenience. And Nike? They use a brilliant mix of innovation and quality by combining global brand recognition, massive athlete endorsements, and nonstop product innovation.
Wow, okay, it all clicks now. So victory in the business arena and actually being able to charge those higher prices comes from customers seeing genuine value in those superpowers, not just from being the absolute cheapest option on the shelf.
But what if you're the new kid on the block? How can a brand new competitor walk into this intimidating arena and actually start building their own competitive advantage completely from scratch? Well, for that, we use what we call the Gusto 3-step advantage framework.
This is a super practical playbook that any aspiring business owner really needs to follow. Step 1, find a customer problem. You have to identify a real pain point that people actually need solved. Step 2, offer something better, faster, cheaper, or just completely different. You must stand out by using one of those superpowers we just talked about. And step 3, keep improving before your competitors catch up. Because trust me, in the business arena, the second you start winning, your rivals are going to try to copy your every move. Constant improvement is literally the only way to stay ahead.
All right, let's quickly recap our core lessons for today. We've learned that markets, whether it's a physical mall down the street or a digital app on your phone, exist simply to connect buyers and sellers. Businesses are constantly competing for our limited funds. We look at market share to measure the actual score of the game. A competitive advantage is that essential superpower fueling a company's ability to crush its rivals. And ultimately, continuous innovation and delivering real value are what drive those long-term wins. So, we want to leave you with this. If you stepped into the business arena today, what would your competitive advantage be? Would you compete on cost, quality, service, or maybe innovation? Think about what your unique superpower would be, because understanding that is step 1 to conquering absolutely any market. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. We really hope this structured look at market dynamics gave you a totally new perspective on the businesses fighting for your attention every day. Next time, we're going to dive even deeper into how industry-transforming innovation really works. Until then, keep analyzing the arena.